If you've just started delivering presentations or are new to public speaking, I'm going to share with you everything I wish I had known when I first began my speaking journey 8 years ago. You see, back then I was so nervous that in my first presentation, I literally stood up, said 2 words, and sat right back down. But today I'm a European champion of public speaking. I'm a professional speaker who delivers presentations all around the world, and I have also published a 5-star book on the topic. So let me save you some time by sharing with you the 3 pillars of public speaking. Pillar 1 is mindset. You see, what's going on in here is going to affect how you speak out here. If you go into your presentation thinking, the audience aren't going to take me seriously, I don't know my stuff, I'm probably going to freeze and panic, guess what? All of that stuff is likely to happen. You need to go in with a positive mindset. Of course, you're going to feel some nerves and anxiety, but you need to control those nerves. You have to make sure that all those butterflies are flying in the same direction. So how do you do that? Well, I'll share a few things that have helped me. Number 1, exercise. If you can go for a run, go for a swim, go for a cycle, or even a brisk walk before your presentation, that will do you the world of good. By exercising your body, you sort of expel all of that nervous energy that's built up inside you, and your body feels more relaxed. And when the body feels relaxed, you will feel more relaxed in your mind as well. Another thing worth trying is affirmations. An affirmation is simply a phrase or a sentence, a catchline that you say to yourself that puts you in a better frame of mind. Professional athletes use affirmations all the time, and you can too. An affirmation that helped me early on was this: composure creates champions. Composure creates champions. I would repeat that to myself before a presentation, and guess what? I would start off a lot more composed, a lot more calm, and a lot more in control. Lastly, you might want to try visualization. This is where you imagine in your mind's eye that your presentation is going perfect, that the audience are laughing, that the audience are listening, that you're nailing every single point, and when you come to the end, you just mic drop that bad boy. The key is to find a solution that works for you. You want to be able to do something before a presentation that gets you into a positive state of mind, because as I said before, when you're going in positive, you're much more likely to have a positive outcome. Alright, pillar 2 is content. There are a few things you should consider here. The first one being structure. How are you going to open your presentation? What are you going to say in those first 10 seconds to earn their attention? And likewise for the middle, what is going to be the beef of your burger? What are going to be your key points, your 3 key points, for example, in the middle? And for the end, what are you going to ask the audience to do? What is the call to action? Figuring out that structure is very important if you want to create a successful presentation. When it comes to content, stories are also important. Stories are a beautiful way to illustrate your points, to build a connection with the audience, and to create some entertainment. So when you're looking at the different points in your presentation, ask yourself what stories you can tell to support those points. And lastly, for this pillar, interaction. For a long time, I thought public speaking was a one-way conversation, where you listen and I speak. But that's false. It's actually, when done well, a 2-way conversation. Both the audience and you are speaking. And what I'm talking about here is finding ways to get your audience involved in the presentation. Could you get them to raise their hands? Could you get them to answer a question? Could you get them to work in pairs and then come back together as a big group? The more interaction you have, the more the audience feel part of your presentation. And as a result, their engagement will improve and the results of your presentation will improve too. Pillar number 3 is delivery. It's all well and good having great content, but if you deliver it like this in a really boring manner, no one is going to listen and the audience are going to want to jump off a building. You need to make it engaging, and you do that in 2 ways. Firstly, with your non-verbal communication, i.e. your body language, and secondly, with your verbal communication, your voice. For body language, you want to think about things like your eye contact. Make sure that you're looking directly at the audience and not at the wall, not at the floor, not somewhere else, and you're not just scanning, but you're actually connecting with them. Also consider things like your facial expression, your gestures, and your stance and your overall posture. These things are going to have an impact in terms of whether you are boring or engaging for the audience. In terms of voice, you want to avoid being monotone, and you want to vary that bad boy in terms of the volume, the pace, the strength, and the inflection of your voice. And if you want more information on that, I created a very useful video on how to use your voice effectively here. Check that out if you want some more vocal tips.